Hey everyone, it's Kathy.
And Paul here with iDulting.
We're here to help you navigate the crazy world of adulting.
Because let's be real, it's a wild ride. We'll be dropping tips, sharing stories,
And maybe even spilling some embarrassing secrets along the way.
so get comfortable, grab your favorite drink, get ready to laugh, learn, and level up your adulting game. This is iDulting. Don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe, and share this podcast. Head over to iDulting.com for more information and to submit questions for us about iDulting.
And maybe even pick up some of our new merchandise. And if you know any fellow adults who need some guidance, send them our way. Just want to let you guys know that we are partnering with Dubby Energy Drinks. And if you are a person who drinks Dubby or interested in drinking Dubby, if you go to www.dubby.gg and order Dubby, and in your discount code, type iDulting10, you'll get 10% off your purchase.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the episode. Today, we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart. I do them every day. In fact, we all do them every day. It's this magic elixir. It's the routines and habits and how they can transform your life. If I told you that there was a magic, inexpensive, and surprisingly simple way to elevate the quality of your life, starting tomorrow, would you be interested?
Of course.
Let's get into this episode then. It's not a big, expensive, change your life challenge or anything like that. It's your habits. Habits that are self-administered can lead to massive, massive changes in your lives. We're not going to get into the particulars or the details of it, although I certainly would share that with you if you want. Just drop me an email at paul@idulting.com. But they're very powerful. Small, consistent actions taken over and over in a positive direction, and suddenly you go pretty far.
There's the power of the ritual. Those who know Paul know that he is vigorous about his habits. He tests them, he adjusts them, and he refines them constantly. It's not about just being busy. It's about building healthy, productive habits.
I start every day with my morning habits. It's an extensive list. I have OCD. That's not new. We talk about that all the time on this show. Recently, I felt compelled to check habits versus demographic groups. And quite honestly, the results were even surprising to me. As general habits, what we're talking about in the morning: early rising, physical exercise, meditation and prayer, reading and learning, strategic planning, healthy nutrition, service work, avoiding digital distractions, and a gratitude practice. Those are the habits I was talking about when I researched. Again, not getting into specifics because everybody's mornings look different. The demographic groups I looked at were wealthy people, successful business people, fit people, people in recovery. And I mean like mental health type of taking care of themselves recovery or addiction recovery, middle class people, unsuccessful people, and low growth people. Without any primer to it, I want to ask you, does the graph show anything drastic to you without any precursor, any preparation?
Looking at it from here, it's pretty much just showing you that all of those habits you listed seem to be done more by people that are successful, wealthy, fit, people in recovery.
The chart we're talking about is available off our blog post at idulting.com. And the title of the blog post is the $0 Magic Elixir. I felt compelled to put it up as a blog post because it is so drastic, the difference between wealthy, successful people versus unsuccessful and low growth people. It illustrates very easy to see how important those habits are to the wealthy and successful people and how unimportant they are to unsuccessful people and low growth people. These habits don't cost anything. It shows a drastic difference between wealthy, successful people, and I keep saying those because that's the left side of the graph, versus unsuccessful and low growth people. You can see it in color. And what blew me away was these are habits. These are small things you can do that don't cost anything. And it led me to questions. Questions about why, if it's free, simple, and even if some of them do cost a little money, like you need a jump rope to jump rope, we'll say. Why would low growth people and unsuccessful people intentionally do that? Is it a knowledge gap? But
Intentionally not do it.
intentionally not do them, yes.
Maybe they're unaware. Maybe they weren't raised in a home where these habits were on the forefront. Maybe they think it's not going to work for them.
Well, so knowledge gap we addressed. Maybe you don't know. And hopefully this podcast episode and tons of different resources out there all over the internet, all over AI, all over social media, you can find out more about them. Do people simply not know that a 10-minute morning plan can change their tax bracket?
They don't know because, one, they don't know. And two, we live in a world of instant gratification. So building a habit and taking 3 weeks to a month to have it become second nature seems like a lifetime for a lot of young people.
Do you think it might be a discipline gap? Is the lure of immediate digital gratification simply too strong to overcome for some people?
Absolutely. And there have been studies to show that people are addicted to their screens.
Maybe that's something we should talk about, how to increase self-discipline. That's not for this episode. This episode is truly about adopting some of these habits. Is it a blind spot, do you think? Are we as a society failing to teach the adulting basics that actually move the needle? There is an area I identified just the other day, and we spoke about it in the car. All of the things I do today, all of these keystone habits that I do, my morning routine, my evening routine, my during the day things, none of them are new to me. The knowledge was there. What's new to me over the last 4 years or so is the actual execution of them.
So you also have to put that into perspective. Yes, you got this knowledge when you were young. No, you didn't apply it because you were young. And now you're seeing the results of had you done it, where you'd be. And you're trying to give everybody a hand up. But being young, they may not see it the way we do.
Listeners, if you could reach out for us, social media or email, and let us know. We are at the core of our mission here. We want to be able to help young adults shift gears and elevate their lives. This is a keystone. It is so important that they adopt, or that all people adopt, that we would like your help knowing how to get it out there. So if you have any ideas at all, please drop them via social media or email. That led me to ask the question, what would happen if low growth or a lost person was to commit making the top 10 habits of wealthy, successful people part of their habits?
If someone feeling lost or stuck in a low growth phase were to strictly adopt the habits of the highly successful, the result wouldn't just be a change in their bank account, it would be a fundamental rewiring of their identity.
The transition usually follows a predictable and sometimes painful trajectory. Here's kind of what it would look like. The first phase, we're going to call it the shock phase. That's week 1 to 3. It's often hard. It's white knuckling it. It takes grit to do. Discipline will definitely take part in this. Like waking up early, deep work, or consistent learning, it's a high cognitive load because you don't know. You're not used to it. It's not on autopilot yet. The struggle here is moving from passive consumption of scrolling TV to active production feels like an uphill battle. I can talk to this. When I started my routine those years ago, it was work. I had to think about each step I was doing. I had to think about, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? I had that inner dialogue. Today, it just flows.
But also part of the shock phase is you're going to face rejection from your current environment. Friends might complain that you're different. Your brain will crave the dopamine hits of your old low-growth habits.
Then we're going to move past the beginning phases into the compounding effect. This generally occurs somewhere in the 3 to 6 month range. What is happening is it's much like compound interest. In the beginning, you see very little or no results, and then all of a sudden they become visible. I'm going to To give you one that comes to mind that is a good example and it's used all the time. You don't start being in shape or seeing results by going to the gym once. In my 54 years, what I found out is you actually have to go to the gym. Having a membership doesn't get you any result. Knowledge stacking is another example. By reading 30 minutes a day, a very common top 10 habit, you'll have finished 6 to 10 books. You'll start seeing patterns in business and life that were invisible to you before.
There's also the shift in social capital. You start seeking out rooms where you are the smallest fish, which fast tracks your growth through proximity to high performers. As you adopt these habits, you naturally stop vibrating at the same frequency as complainers.
This is something you and I talk about all the time right now. The phrase I've actually used is, do we want to be the biggest fish in the smallest pond or the smallest fish in the biggest pond?
I'd go for the latter.
I would too now. Kathy and I have this dialogue about how to intentionally build our network with bigger fish. Still working on it, and I guess we'll share in future episodes and let you know. 3 big habits that wealthy and successful people focus on are meticulous time auditing, which moves them from reactive, letting life happen, to proactive, taking command. That's a huge one for them. Delayed gratification, which breaks the cycle of impulsive spending and cheap dopamine hits. Goal visualization and planning provides a North Star, which is the direct cure for feeling lost.
But there is a catch. If a person adopts the outputs of success, the fancy routines, without the mindset, the discipline, and the problem solving, they may become a refined version of a lost person, meaning you're doing the habits, you're just not doing the habits. True growth happens when the habits are used as tools to solve specific problems rather than just a checklist to feel superior.
The reality of this transformation, a person who commits to these habits will eventually experience a great decoupling. They will no longer recognize the person they were 6 months prior. You see this out there in inspirational pictures of put your head down, get to work, and in 6 months you won't know who you are. They will have traded the comfort of stagnation or on autopilot for the productive stress of growth.
The hardest part isn't doing the habits. It's believing you're the kind of person who deserves the results they bring.
That led me to ask, which specific top 10 habits would be most effective to make the most change? To help move from a low growth state to one of high momentum, we should avoid the trap of trying to change everything at once. Remember, this is a journey, and it's not like we're getting beamed up here. Success at this level is about sequence, not just intensity. If you're feeling lost, there's specific order that I would recommend prioritizing here. First, reclaim your agency. It's your internal wealth. To do that, you're going to start with strict time auditing. Wealthy people treat time as a non-renewable resource, which it is. No matter who I am on this planet, poor person, homeless person, rich person, president of a country, I have 24 hours in that day. It's non-renewable. The habit that you should form is your time auditing here. For 3 days, track every 30-minute block of your time. You're likely going to find leaks or dead time, which is filled with scrolling, overthinking, procrastination, where your growth is dying.
Next is the power hour, deep work. This habit means dedicate the first 60 to 90 minutes of your day to your most difficult, high-leverage task before checking emails or social media. This builds the discipline muscle that low-growth individuals often lack.
What phase 1 is giving us is time in our days. Time that we weren't using for the most productive things. We are all busy. We've all said, I don't have time to do XYZ. I don't think anyone who's listening today is ever going to say, I never said I was too busy to do something. You're finding time in your schedule by doing this time audit. Once you've done that, you have a little bit of time to be able to go into phase 2, expand your horizon. If you're lost or if you're in a low growth or stagnant area, you don't know what to do because you don't know what's possible. That's where expanding your horizons come in. It's a phase filled with active skill acquisition. Top performers in all fields spend at least 30 minutes a day learning a specific marketable skill to expand their abilities. The goal here is to move from the generalist to specialist. Wealth is attracted to specific knowledge.
It also includes physical integrity. Move your body for 30 minutes daily. Success requires high energy. You cannot build a high-growth life on a low-battery body.
The next phase we're going to talk about is financial and social rewiring. Remember, this is like a roadmap. There's a specific order. First, find the time, then start doing some important activities with that time. Finally, you're going to start rewiring yourself. Once your mind and body are sharp, you can pay yourself first, even if it's only $10. Have we spoken about that before on shows?
Almost every show.
That habit is to automate a portion of every dollar you receive into an investment or savings account. It's going to start your shift from consumer to an owner. You're the owner of your life.
And curated proximity. Audit your circle. Wealthy people protect their mental environment. Start engaging with people, podcasts, or communities that talk about ideas and solutions rather than people and their problems.
I have an idea. They could start engaging with the podcast host of the #1 rated podcast on the East Shore, iDulting, right at iDulting.com.
If you wanted to pick just 3 of these habits to start tomorrow, we would suggest this combination. The first one being mindset. It's the time auditing habit. It reveals exactly where your life is stalling.
Next up would be growth, which is the skill learning habit. It provides a map to get out of the woods that you're lost in.
And lastly, discipline, the power hour. It proves that you are in control of your day.
How do we start this without burning out? Your lives are already full. You're already busy. You're already feeling overwhelmed. So how do we facilitate this much needed critical shift here? We talked about time auditing. We talked about growth. We talked about discipline. The biggest mistake lost people make is trying to do all of these on Monday and being burnt out and quitting by Wednesday. Remember, we talked about them in phases.
To avoid the all or nothing burnout, we're going to design a minimum viable day. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to prove to your brain that you are no longer a person who is lost, but a person who follows a plan.
This is an example. Your day can look very different than this. The important part is that you have a plan.
So we're going to start at 7 a.m. The activity is a non-negotiable wake up. Winning the first battle of the day builds immediate self-trust.
After that, at about 7:15 or something, hydrate and move. A quick walk or stretching, or how about a TikTok trend like jumping 100 times? Some motion as soon as you get out of bed. When I'm not laid up for medical procedures, like to do my abs and push-ups then, but it's within the first few minutes of getting up. In my world, from bed, I think about things I'm grateful for. I get an attitude of gratitude. Then I get out of bed. I go take care of man stuff. Then I get some activity in real quick.
7:30, the power hour, deep work. Spend 60 minutes on one thing that moves you forward. Researching a new career, studying a skill, or financial planning. Something that's going to push you forward in your life.
Then comes normal work routine. That starts around 8:30. Again, this is different for everybody. Transition into your daily obligations feeling like you've already won. Your morning habits have set you up for this.
Then we want you to do a midday audit. It only takes about 5 minutes. Quickly jot down what you did this morning. This stops a time leak.
In addition, at that time, for me, it's at lunch. I look at the things I'm hitting on my to-do list for the day or my plan and my routines, and it makes it that I'm not too late to adjust so that I haven't lost a whole day.
Next is skill acquisition. This typically comes at the end of your day. It takes about 30 minutes. Read a book or watch a tutorial on a marketable skill. Not entertainment, not videos, not scrolling, not gossip, not crap. something that is actually going to teach you to move your life forward.
Finally is your evening routine. In our day, our fictitious day here, it's around 9 p.m. It's the shutdown review of your day. Look at your audit for the day. Identify one time waster that you will cut out tomorrow to free up more time.
Now we're going to talk about some rules for success. There are 3 day 1 rules for success. The first one is the 2-minute rule. If a habit feels too hard, like the power hour, commit to doing just 2 minutes of it. Usually the friction is in starting, not doing.
Think it works?
I do think it works.
I know it works. We've had to do this 2-minute rule to ourselves many times. Our gym is wonderful. However, in New Jersey winters, in the unheated garage, the 2-minute rule has gotten us through many workouts.
The no 0 days. If life gets chaotic, do a scaled back version. Even 5 minutes of learning is better than 0. This preserves the identity of being a high performer.
The next one I have no problem doing, which is funny as a podcast host. It's called digital fasting. Do not check social media or news until after your power hour is complete. I can go whole days without checking those things. Don't let other people's priorities hijack your brain first thing in the morning. That part's critical. I do use my phone for some of my habits. Sometimes there's notifications on it. It's effort to not see what's going on when they're blinging away. Thank you again for listening. We could talk for so long about habits. To make this real, I challenge you. Adopt that day. Try that day. Start with time auditing and see how much time is really going to non-productive things. To reach out and find us, we can be found at iDulting.com. Also want to take a minute to give a shout out to a local business that we just visited for a second time. It's a place called the Miner's Apron down in Mine Hill, New Jersey. It's a local restaurant, wonderful food, wonderful environment. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Wonderful staff. Enjoyed it twice now.
And tell our friends to go, for sure.
Yeah, if you haven't been to the Miner's Apron, you should give it a try. Just remember, you've got this, adults. Keep your head up, your spirits high, and keep adulting with us. Go forth and conquer the world, or at least your to-do list.
And don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe. Tell your friends, share the podcast, and head over to iDulting.com for more information and to connect with us. See you on the next episode. Be safe.